Hello, everybody, and welcome to Entrepreneur Lives. Today, we've got Ramona from Hungary in Budapest, and she is a business strategist. Welcome, Ramona. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. I'm feeling fantastic.
Great. So tell me all about, I suppose, being a business strategist and I suppose how it can help some of the listeners.
Being a business strategist, for me, it's one of the most exciting thing because I always focused on solving problems and I could see challenges and throughout things that how they could be solved. So for me, that's very exciting.
Great. And tell me then, what would be an average client? So I suppose what journey will they go through?
Oh, sorry, can you repeat that? I'm not sure I catch that.
Sorry, what would be the average journey a client would go through with you?
But that's a very interesting question because it also depends of the person that how quickly they want results and how much time they are willing to invest in making things happen. Usually people need some realization in terms of how things can be achieved in what time limit. So, staying realistic to achieving a goal, it takes time and it takes effort. So there are results you can get very quick, but you cannot cut short on success.
Okay,
So
and tell me then for your journey, how did you become involved, being a business strategist?
it started off that I went into sales. I was working for a multinational company. And then I realized that, oh, people come here because of marketing. And I was always interested in business. And then I decided to discover more and more. So after marketing, I felt there are so many agencies with actually not doing the actual job of, what marketing is supposed to do. And I was very curious, along the way about customer psychology and strategy. And that's how I got into it.
Very good. And how long have you been doing it now?
I started my business before the pandemic, but I was already doing freelancing. So maybe like since 2018.
Very good. And tell me then, if somebody, were looking at what's a business strategist or, how can I help their business? Just tell me a bit more details of how that works for somebody that possibly would be looking to, improve or create more business.
So it starts off with what goals you have, right? Because you want to reach a goal. So it starts with your vision. So if you want to really stay focused and make things happen, you have to have a vision. So if you don't have a vision or you don't have your purpose figured out, it's something you need to start off because that's going to lead you to extraordinary results, what you usually hear out there. And then
Yeah.
the challenges, and then implementing the
Right.
strategy.
Okay, because I know, like when it comes to marketing, like marketing can be the lifeblood of any business, and I suppose a lot of business owners get involved with a business, and they may be very good at working in the business, but not on the business. But when it comes to marketing, it is working on the business. But then, if you're not an expert in it, like Napoleon Hill always says, like in the book Think and Grow Rich, look for an expert and get somebody with the correct knowledge. So I suppose that's where a business strategist comes in, where you go to somebody that knows what they have to do to help you, fight through the challenges or get to the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I love your point there because it's so important that you go to the right person, but it's even more important that you can actually see who is the right person. And it's very hard when you don't have experience there. So for me, it comes down to humanity, right? When people can actually understand the challenges you are facing and realistically and truthfully can tell you what's actually possible with the current process you are doing or by changing it and also putting in the work because you can go to marketing agencies and they will say, okay, we get done for you, but maybe it's going to hurt your business even more because you are just paying for no results.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, when it comes to marketing, there's so many businesses would be familiar with the process of, spending money on Facebook ads or spending money on Google ads and then finding that they don't actually get business from it. And it's just because it's the wrong marketing strategy. Chucking money at stuff is not going to solve a problem. You need to have a strategy in place and you need to have follow-ups and the process of what you're going to do as you're utilizing your marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you highlighted solving a problem because so many people get it wrong. And this is the very beginning of doing a business. You solve a problem for your client, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah, no, look, at the end of the day, it really is. I know a lot of, entrepreneurs, need a little bit of passion and desire to grow their business and develop a business. But having said that, if there's a little bit of that missing, that's where experts like yourself come in, where they can help, define what the area of problem or issues are to help you grow within the market or area that you need to.
yeah, absolutely.
What would be the one tip that you could share with, I suppose, people that may be listening that, have an interest in growing their business or developing their entrepreneurial skills?
Many people are looking for confidence, how to build confidence. You don't actually need to have confidence because it comes after you achieve certain things. Confidence comes later when you are repeating something. So don't search for confidence. Try to make decisions quickly with courage and go all in because you have to test it anyway. You have to try it out. And you have to have experience by leveraging that data from what you have been doing and how things are happening for you. Are there any results? Because no result is also data for you. So the number one tip would be make decisions quicker because that's where people get it wrong. We overthink it, right? We are too analytical, or we just wait for something to happen.
Mhm.
And we are the people who can actually, we are who make it happen. No one else is going to build a business for us
Yeah, no,
because
I love
it's
that
your
because,
business.
Ramona, when you look at a business owner, most times they go through where they're trying to scale, they may not have the money to put into marketing, and then they have the fear and the doubt and the worry, which, as a result of maybe spending money and not getting the results, and then they're out of pocket. So it's almost like they're, maybe use a credit card on something and then it doesn't work, and now they're in debt as a result of it. Whereas I think when you go to proper channels, albeit going to an expert or just finding out the correct knowledge, you can find what works instead of getting caught up with shiny objects. Because, there's so many marketing tools out there that can help a business, but there are so many marketing messages that can make a business go bang in a very short period of time.
Yes, that's so true. You have to find your message. You have to figure out what you want and how you solve other people's problem. And that's how you get more people in front of you that they are ready to buy and they are ready to move forward.
What is I suppose, when we look at from a marketing point of view, then, and looking at the strategizing on a business, what are the tips that you could share with somebody that may help them to recognize what they need?
So it starts with people, right? Marketing starts with the people who you're reaching to. So when you ask a question, what problem do I solve, right? What is the actual problem you solve for other people? What are their problems? What are they currently facing in this present moment? And where do they want to go? Either if you have a product or a service, it doesn't matter because people would use and buy for things that helps them move forward and helps them either it's transformation or just having a more comfortable life.
Yeah.
So it starts with their pain, their problem, and by understanding your target audience, where they are, what are their demographics, are you selling locally, are you selling online, which country, what are their age, right? It gives you much more information about how they actually having conversations,
Yeah.
even in their own head, because we all have stories we are telling to ourselves and we all have dreams we want to accomplish. So it really starts with the people. So look at the people and start with the problem, and there is a solution that you provide.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, because when we look at, I suppose, marketing, again, like what you said, you need to define what you're going after and where, whereas a lot of business owners or entrepreneurs, they tend to want to cast the web or cast the net out to the whole world, and put their message across. And whilst, 99% of people genuinely want to develop their business and genuinely have the skills, to give and help other people with their products and services, sometimes they're just going about the wrong way, and they're I suppose trying to promote to everybody instead of defining their market.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We are trying to promote everything in a way. even like, because we are so passionate about it, right? We want to help people and we don't know how to do it. So we overdo it, even with content. Like you push, you became pushy if you never really learned how to sell
Yeah.
truthfully with integrity, or how to promote a product. It's gonna feel pushy on people because you are trying to do it.
Mhm.
There is this mechanism. As much as you push, you create a rejection in it, so your audience are going more far, right? Because you became pushy. To bring it closer, it comes with a story. Everyone has a story. Why did you start? Why do you want people to make that change? How do you help them to get to that solution, that transformation, or the other side?
Yeah, for sure. Like even when we talk about, the marketing message and, the marketing strategy, it really is like when I talk to a lot of clients and customers, and when I look at their business and I see where they're going wrong, it's almost like they spend a lot of money on marketing, but they're not actually monitoring the marketing itself. And when they start to
Mhm.
monitor it, they start to see that they've spent a lot of money that's been wasted. And that's where I get them to define exactly, who they're going after. Like, if it's somebody that selling a service, like I don't know, a carpenter or a locksmith or something like that, service provider, they tend to just advertise to everybody. But what I do is I say to them, well, look, what is your most clients? What's the most people you do work for? And then we define what the actual their, I suppose, important client is, or what the one that pays them the most money. And then we get them to promote themselves to more of that. Because again, like even when it's a product, if we were to look at a product and we were to look at the overall spend on the product, and then we define how much it's costing them per sale, and then we look at if they have the margin on it, well then who or what category, whether it's age or whatever, is buying the most of the product, and then go after that, because then they tend to get more of it, with most profits, instead of trying to promote themselves and waste money.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Usually people are like, I don't know how to promote. I'm going to turn to Facebook ads, right? You don't have your message figured out. You don't know what converts people. So you have to go back to organic marketing. You have to start there, because why would you waste money?
Yeah.
You cannot figure out your message through advertisement. And yeah, you get some data there, that how many, clicks you have and impressions. But if you don't know how to calculate your return on investment, because you are not there yet, you don't know how much money you put in it and get back from it, then you need to go back to organic marketing.
Yeah, for sure. Look, when we talk about KPIs, key performance indicators, a lot of people say, oh, that's for big businesses and so forth. It's not. It's actually it's more so a smaller business to track everything. I always say track everything in your business, whether it's marketing or other, your cost, your income, your outgoings, because when you start to track the numbers, it allows you to make decisions on stuff. And then whether you're making money or not making money. The amount of people that I, work with, and they don't know what their profits are. They don't know what their profit margins are. They're literally working their business from month to month. And whatever comes into the bank account, they use it and spend it. And I just say, no, you can't do that, because you don't know whether you're making money. You can't, if there's no money in your bank account, well, then you're focusing on the problem of no money there. And sometimes the problem gets worse.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned KPIs, because I think I was very lucky that I started my career in a multinational company, because it was very normal thing for me to
Yeah.
see how a business operates,
Yeah.
and also understanding monthly goals and quarterly goals. So you have to have goals next to your KPIs, that what are you going to achieve and how do you measure that result, the end of the month and quarterly and yearly.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's funny, Leon should say that, because it's vitally important. And a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, maybe have worked for somebody else, or maybe have, decided just to start their business without any knowledge. And then their goal is just to make money. But in fact, their goal should be to start off what it is they want, and then work with KPIs based on that. And I suppose some of them tend to lack the skills and knowledge to be able to know how to do that. And I've met business owners that are extremely successful, but still don't do KPIs. They still don't track stuff. They've just they've gone with the passion and desire and being able to do it. In fact, I'd probably say that happened to me for 25 years. I was quite successful, but I never really tracked anything. And it's only when I start tracking it, I realized how much money and income I had been wasting. But it also allowed me then to grow the business, almost double the business that I was getting by purely just tracking everything.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there because I lived in many countries. I loved Middle East, and for some reason, I was drawn towards there. But also there, people and companies, they don't train even their employees to track these numbers. They might give you a goal, even in sales, you might get a goal, a monthly goal, and that's it. They don't teach you, they don't give you proper training, even in sales or marketing. You have to figure out a lot of things on your own. There is a lot of lack of training, and also KPIs and where are we going towards here. So I feel lot of lack of vision here.
Yeah, I think again, like when we look at, similar to what you just said, there are lots of skills and tips and tricks that an entrepreneur can learn. But in fact, while I say they're tips and tricks, they're actually quite simple. There's stuff that you probably already know, but you just don't know how to utilize them. And then it's like perception. Somebody says something like KPI, and you go, I don't need that. I'm not big enough for that, or my business is not doing enough customers or clients. But the reality of it is if you do track it, it will tell you where you are. So if you say you want to get 10 clients in a month, and then you track the process of what you did to try and get them 10 clients. So you work backwards from the 10 and you say, well, what did I do every day, every week? And then you come to the month, you go, well, actually, I made no phone calls, I made contact with nobody, but I still want to hit my goal. How can you do that? Whereas the other way, if you track it, you say, well, I was making 5 phone calls a day and I was chasing up and I got 5 sales, but not 10. Well, then next month now I need to double up on it. So it's almost like you're setting a goal for yourself privately and pushing yourself to do what you need to do.
I love that you highlighted to working backwards with the number, because that might help people to understand better, right? That if I never set a goal for myself and I don't know how to, what are the things I actually need to do in that 1 month to reach that 10 sales, then working backwards is definitely going to help you in order to, reach your goal. But you have to reach out to people. It's not going to work without that.
Yeah, for sure. Look, there needs to be, again, there needs to be some sort of marketing. Not only are you putting your message out, whether it's, utilizing somebody like yourself or a coach or consultant or whatever, but you need to be doing stuff yourself. You need to be getting outside that comfort zone and taking action. Because if you don't take action, your business is not going to thrive. I meet lots of people and they say to me, oh, I work very hard. And the first thing I say is, okay, make a list tomorrow of everything you've done in the day and give that to me. And then we'll see what you have been doing. And in most cases, we find that in fact, what they think are working hard on is just the wrong stuff. They're not directing it in the right way.
Absolutely, because people usually just, oh, it's a great idea, let me work on that. But those activities are not money-making activities that actually helps you to get sales at the end of the day.
And it's amazing the amount of people as well, and including myself. I would have done this in my early stages, but where, somebody might say to you to do something. So whether it's pick up the phone and, ring 5 people, but they will find something somewhere that stops them from doing that. So the car broke down, or they had to go to the shopping, or they had to hoover the house, or whatever the case may be. But there's always an excuse. But that's just being uncomfortable. And when you, as an entrepreneur, you need to be uncomfortable. You need to make yourself uncomfortable to allow yourself to, progress and do more. So it's almost like when you push yourself or when you set goals and, you take actionable steps. There's one tip I always say to everybody is, when you get up in the morning, ask yourself, what's the one actionable step you're going to take today that's going to bring you closer to your goal? And if you can honestly answer it, and take the action, it'll happen. If you don't and you go through the day and you find it doesn't, well, then you can't expect to be successful and have a successful business.
Yeah. Usually people have a very big goal in their mind, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to start my business. I'm going to be a millionaire, right? It's a great idea. I'm going to just make it happen in a month or whatever because of social media, right?
Yeah.
And we put our goal here. And if we just take action every single time, we could lower the goal in our
Yeah.
horizontal view, and
Yeah.
it would be much easier to reach.
Yeah, for sure. Look, you're correct. When it comes to, the big goals, you've got to set the minor goals to get. So it's almost like the steps, whatever steps are required to get to the bigger goal. But it's funny. Recently, I'm working with a gentleman, and he has set a goal, and he wanted to double his business. So I said to him, well, where do you want to go after you double your business? And he says, well, in 10 years, I want to do 1 million. And I said, so why is it 10 years? And he said, oh, well, by the time I achieve this goal and achieve the other goal. And I said, you see, but you've already decided by the time you achieve it. So I said, you've got to start telling yourself you're going to achieve it in whatever length of time, set a date and start working towards it. I said, now you're not pushing it away. And it was like a light bulb went on. He'd realized that, he was just pushing it out. He believed he could do it, but he didn't actually have the belief he could actually follow through.
Yeah. Usually the question when I feel that maybe my goal feels very far, I ask a question, how bad I want it. Like,
Yeah,
is it like
good one.
what would change?
Yeah,
What do I want my life to change? Why do I want this goal? If
yeah,
I whatever it is, losing weight, whatever goal you have, what is the reason and how bad do you want it? Because then you have anything could happen in your life.
yeah.
Nothing gets in the way. And
Yeah.
that's very simple. If you have a big enough vision, a big enough goal, and you are committed to it 100%, nothing gets in the way. Anything can happen. COVID can happen,
Yeah.
A new relationship can happen, anything, but no one is stopping you. You don't put the blame on others because you are working towards your goal.
It's very good, yeah. Very true. When you see people, they tend to set goals, but they don't achieve them because they give up on them. But yet, when you set the right goal that you feel active and a bit of desire and passion towards it, you follow through. And then some people say to me in the past, well, how do you know what the right goal is? I say, well, I can't tell you, but you've got to dig deep. And I say, go back through. When you start to, I suppose, get out of the habitual state of behavior, when you're in the higher vibration, you could be walking down the street and a car could drive by and you go, oh my God, I'd love to own one of them. And you go, oh Jesus, that's what I want to go after a car. So you've got to get inspired, you've got to dig deep, and you've got to listen to what your inners are telling you and then follow through. But you're 100% in what you said. When you have that passion and desire, you'll do whatever it takes. So whether you're having a bad day or a good day, it doesn't matter because you're seeing the goal at the end. And that's what gets you up out of bed in the morning.
I love that you just mentioned that because as more people as you meet, people are not desiring things that they don't meant to be. It just, I meet with people who, they just want to improve their career and they don't want to be leaders, and that's completely fine. But
Yeah.
those people do not feel that, oh, I want to be a leader, or is it maybe something in me?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Ramona, it's been a pleasure to get some tips and tricks off you and listen to all the ideas and stuff you've done. Please, if you could share with us, if somebody wanted to make contact with you, where they can get you and how.
So I have a website. I started 7needs as a video production company, but because of the pandemic, it didn't turn out to be the best and possible because of the unforeseen circumstances. So I got back to my business, and the website is 7 needs, because we have needs. So 7needs.com.
Very good.
And you
Very
can
good.
reach out.
Yeah. Ramona, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. And we look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you so much for inviting me.